Netflix behind us, but still two important ones to check out with Hatem Dhiab joining us from Gerber Kawasaki Wealth Investment Management. Hatem, great to have you back on the show.
Thank you, Oliver. Good to see you, buddy.
Okay, so we got Disney next week. Let's get to that one second, actually, because Warner Brothers is around the corner, and I feel like it's kind of fallen out of the conversation in many ways after the merger deal. Do you guys like this business, or what are you expecting?
Yeah, 100 days, I think, after the merger closing this week. So there's a lot of eyes on what's going to happen with Warner Brothers Discovery. I feel like this company has been trying to merge for the last 20 years, and I don't know if this one is the good one. David Zaslav, who's the new CEO, is really one of the most watched CEOs in the industry or in Hollywood right now. And I think everyone's trying to look as to what the direction is going to be. It's coming from a broadcasting background. There is a lot of skepticism around, can he manage a bunch of creatives on HBO and so forth? So I think we don't know much how this is going to turn out, but there is a lot of skepticism as to what the direction is going to be.
It's interesting that for the most part, the market looks at all of them, it seems, with a pretty kind of wide brush where the charts all look basically the same. Warner, for all the talk about how it's now going to get to the competitive stage and there's going to be winners and losers, seems like it kind of trades them all pretty similarly. But we spend more time thinking about Netflix, Disney. Can't forget about Paramount as well, which publicly traded, of course, looks just like these. What will make them stand out? Is this going to be a content war like it was in the past, or is it going to become more of a financial war going forward?
Well, I think one is the macros, right? The macros have been real tough. They've all done really well after COVID because we've all been home for a while just watching TV. But then there's been a substantial investment in Hollywood and in content, and maybe even an overspending in content. We've seen it with Netflix, Disney. And I think what the market is saying right now is like, hey, there is just too many players, too much content, too much competition, and we don't know if this is sustainable. We don't know if there is the revenues to be able to support this kind of spending. And there's going to be some winners and there's going to be some losers here. Obviously, Netflix being down 60%, Disney down 40%, shows you that people are skeptical. But ultimately, I think those are names that are going to be some of the biggest winners down the road. I don't know if Warner is going to be one, but it remains to be seen.
We've got a Game of Thrones prequel coming for HBO. There's some potential, I guess, for some major franchises. It seems like that's what we oftentimes end up tying to these companies. Talk Stranger Things, the performance there for Netflix, all the Star Wars stuff for Disney. You guys got a preference for the content, where you want to follow?
I mean, listen, I love Westworld and HBO. I love
that too, yeah.
Good show, right?
The new season is warming up. How about Disney? Are we going to be more worried about parks or streaming next week?
It's funny, right? We were very excited about the streaming business that's done really well. And then we got really worried about parks, and now parks are actually the bright side for Disney. So I think when they report next week, it's going to be a big number. People want to go out. The parks are busy. They've raised prices. They're very good at running the IP through the parks and merchandising and so forth. So I think that's going to be a very, very bright spot. The streamer or the Disney Plus side may be the one that's been challenged with new subscribers and so forth. But I think Disney is a winner because they have both businesses.
Disney with the parks offsetting some of that stay-at-home dynamic. If we do have to pick one, is that the most hedged then?
Yeah, I would definitely pick Disney. They're just such a well-diversified company with such an amazing brand, and really the ability to merchandise and monetize all of their properties. If you think about some of the content on Disney Plus, from Star Wars, you have so many different franchises that bring together, and they just keep building more and more awesome content. And then you go to the parks, and that's how you get to spend it. So I think that's really the play.
Okay. All right. Well, guess we'll see how The latest Thor does in theaters. Not the best ratings, but okay. It never really matters as long as it's got the brand with it and the people going. Got a new Black Panther coming out too, so some big franchise releases as well. Hatem, thanks for the catch up. Appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
You
Cheers.
got it.